Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, the Python Gurukul. Today we'll be talking about one of the very important aspects of version control. We'll be talking about GitHub and we'll go through all different phases from installation to initialization, cloning, adding, doing commit, running the status check, pulling the latest changes and push the code to remote. So let's start with the installation. For installation, all we need is this particular URL. Download the exe and just start with installation address. Once we have username and email addresses, we'll go ahead and generate the SSH key. Why this key is required? Because if we are talking to any of the Git repo, we need to have the SSH communication. This is the best way of having the communication with our Git remote. So maybe you will already have the SSH key, but I'll highly encourage that generate the new one. Once we have the SSH key generated, go to GitHub and just add the new SSH key. So let's talk about Git init. So there are two different scenarios. Maybe we want to start our own repo, or we have a directory, we want to convert the directory to repo. In these two different scenarios, we have to just call git init command and it will take care of converting the directory to repo. But this is not the very common scenario. If we are new to Git and we want to start working with the team, then maybe already repo was created. If repository is already created, what we need to know? We just need to know the Git URL, the repo URL. And to start working with the repo, we need to use the git clone. So just say git clone command and give the URL of the repo. So this particular command will help us to create the clone of the remote repo to our local system. With the clone, now we have the code uh, at our local system. We can start contributing to remote. Again, many time in many projects, it is not required to create your own branch. Maybe we can directly commit to master. But most common scenario are we suggest that go ahead and create your own branch the changes you want to commit. That's very simple as well. Just say git branch and give the new name as it's a 0624. I'm just giving today date. I have some fix I want to do and I created the new branch with the 0624. So what we are saying, we had a master, we were making some changes. Now we have created our own branch and we are just starting with a new pointer, nothing else. So make all the changes you want to contribute. Once you are ready with all your files, by just using the git add command, add the files. If these all files are part of one of the directory, but in those scenarios, just add the directory itself. So git add and then the either name of the files or name of the directories or maybe single directory. And with that, we are just saying that these are the files which we added to our local staging area. So once we are done with all the changes, we want to create one pointer for tracking purposes and we want to commit. So while committing, we want to have some meaningful pointer name. So we'll call the command git commit. We'll use the -m and we'll pass the some meaningful message. Here we are saying that we have updated the readme file with link. And once we are done with all the commit, all the changes we wanted to do for the repo, then either we can call the push or we can call the push with upstream. It's depend on our setup. As we are using branch, we will use the second command. We will say that git push set upstream, and we want to set the origin with the 0624, and this was the name of the branch we have just created in our local system. Once the push is successful, we'll get some meaningful messages saying that, okay, here are your code, go ahead and create the pull request. So after this, we'll change our workflow and we'll go to the browser and we'll navigate to this particular URL. The one was provided after the git push. We can create the PR, and once we have created the PR, we'll do the code review, or maybe we'll add somebody else. After the code review is done, we will merge the pull request. So that's one happy path, and where we can add the code, we can edit the code, and we can merge the code. But there are a couple of more scenario which we'll be using day in and out. So let's say the way we made the changes. Similarly, our team member, our classmate would have made the changes to the same repo. So before start working on the repo, we want to have our local copy updated with the remote. So just run the git pull command and keep running the git pull to just make sure that we have all the changes committed by our team members. The status, this is the most commonly used command. At every stage, if we are not sure what has happened, what we did, where we are, just call the git status and it will showcase that what's going on. So that's all I had from the UI perspective. Now we will change the gear and we'll take a look at live demo. So we'll start with the URL and we'll navigate to the page, and this one will start the download. The download is going on. So now we have already downloaded and we'll double click and the page will launch, and this is simple next command. Just keep going till the end, and once the git is installed, just say that git version and make sure that git respond to our command. So this one confirms that yes, git has been installed. So now we talked about two different commands, and we'll just get these two commands handy with us. We will get the git config global user.name, and we got the name Rajiv Singh, and we'll get the another command name and email configure. The next thing we'll be doing, we'll go ahead and we'll generate the new SSH key. Just say enter, it's already exists. You want to overwrite? I want to say yes, do the overwrite. No passphrase, just say. And at this point of time, we have already generated. So let's go ahead. Once we have SSH code handy, go to the repo, GitHub repo, and from there we'll go to the settings. From settings, we'll go to the SSH and CPG keys, and from here give some meaningful name, new system, and then just add the SSH key. With that, we have already added our SSH key. We'll go back to the command prompt, and now we should be able to do the clone. So we'll go ahead, we will copy the URL, and now we are going to command prompt and we'll say that git clone and the URL whatever we have. This is going to clone the remote repo to our local repository. So if we'll do the dir, we'll see that the books library, the one we were just looking at, is available at our local system. So we will do the books library and we'll just do the dir. We'll see that ch123 and libs project. That's all we had at our remote. So libs project ch123. So from here, we will go ahead and we'll create the branch. So we'll say git branch and we want to make some fixes. So we'll say that defect fix. So with this command, we have created a branch with name defect fix. We'll do the list git branch and we'll see that what all the branches. So we have main, we have defect fix. We'll do the git code defect fix. So now we have switched to defect fix. So now we'll do the git branch and we'll see that we are on the defect fix. So from here onwards, we will run the git status command. As I said, this is one of the most common command which we'll be keep using. It said that nothing to commit, working tree is clean. We'll go ahead and we'll add some files. So what I did, we had chapter 1, 2, 3. Now I have added chapter 4 and we can see that these are the files in the chapter 4. I'll go ahead, delete. I don't want to commit this particular file. So let's go to the command prompt and do the git branch. We'll do the git status. And this one say that now we see that untracked file. There is something new but not tracked. So we will say that git add ch4. By adding git add ch4, all the file inside the chapter 4 context.py, all remaining file got added. So if we'll do the git status now, it will say that these were the file have been added to stage area. So we added the directory, and as we added the directory, all the files inside the directory got added to our staging area. So that's good. That's what we wanted. So we'll say git commit -m, and we want to say chapter 4 examples added. So what we said, we have created one pointer with name chapter 4 examples added. So these are the code added to the local repo. And next thing we can do, so we are done with our modification. Now we want to move these codes to the remote. Okay, so we are saying that upstream and all the changes from defect fix. With that, it is just confirming what all has happened, what is the object, delta compression, lot of information, but our interest is this particular message. Create a pull request for defect fix on GitHub by visiting this particular URL. So copy the URL and go to the browser. Already the project is there. This is here, but I want to showcase what all we have in the defect fix. So defect fix is saying that the push was for the one of the branches. So go ahead, create the pull request. Add some meaning, add some message and just say create pull request. I cannot review, but I have access. I can merge the pull request. So I'll say confirm and do the confirm merge. And with these changes, now we'll go to our repo and just refresh the browser. And we will see that earlier we had 1, 2, 3. Now chapter 4 has been added, and this chapter 4 has this code. So if someone else is working in our team, they just have to do the git pull at their setup so that they can get the changes whatever we have committed to our code. So, so that's the workflow I wanted to discuss with you. If you like my video, please share and subscribe. Thank you for watching.